Good evening.
Hi, everybody.
It seems like it's zoomed in all
It is very zoomed in.
I wonder why.
Here, I got a scooch.
I know, we're like really zoomed in. I don't like
Hi, like it's close-up night, I guess.
I know. Should I fix it?
No, I guess they can just see us closer than usual. Yeah?
Are you guys okay with us
Are you
being
guys
this close?
okay with us being like in your face like that?
In your face.
Okay, well,
Guess it'll work.
then I guess the show must go on.
We have a big show for you guys tonight. So if you want to give your usual plea.
My plea, that sounds so bad. So happy Monday. As usual, any shares that you can give this feed surely are appreciated because your support is always super important to us. And we have a lot to cover tonight. We have so much to cover. So
We're going to be here till Tuesday.
No. No, we're not.
No, we're going to try to do it in about an hour. Hopefully we can wrap everything we want to cover in an hour. But shall we get started?
We shall.
Hello, welcome to TMSM Weekly Live, show number 75 for January 27th, 2020. I'm Scott.
I'm Michelle.
And like we said, we do have a lot to cover this week. Not a lot of different things though. Last week, as many of you know, Michelle and I were invited to a Walt Disney World resort and food tour that we got to do for 3 days at the Walt Disney World Resort. Started on Tuesday and we were there till Friday morning, or Friday early afternoon when we left.
Yes.
So it was a lot of fun. It started out Tuesday. We checked in at the Riviera Resort. For those that don't know, Riviera is the newest resort to Walt Disney World. It's a DVC only resort, correct?
Well, it's a DVC resort, yeah. But you can also purchase nights stays there too.
We had the room they gave us was amazing. They put us on the 8th floor, preferred view room. We had a one bedroom suite, I guess.
Maybe.
We had a full kitchen, full living room, and then the bedroom, and then I guess 2 different bathrooms. I mean, the bathrooms.
You could live there.
You could live there.
Like seriously, I don't know if you guys watched the room tour that we did when we checked in, because it got a really good reach. So I know a lot of you were interested in what the rooms looked like at the Riviera. It was gorgeous. I really think the view is. I mean, the room was beautiful. Yes. Don't get me wrong. The art is beautiful. The whole thing is. But the view from up there, there's so much to see. Yeah,
and the preferred view we had, so when you looked out our balcony, because you have a balcony up that high, we looked down at the pool. There was a little beachy area, but then we could also see the Skyliner going to... Studios, the one to Caribbean Beach, correct? Or is that? Yep, Caribbean Beach, then Art of Animation, and Pop Century. So we got to see all those from our room, which was just pretty awesome to see it from that angle.
It was, and don't laugh because I know we're from Michigan. I feel you, I know, but what I'm gonna say is the truth. It was cold last week for the 2 days when we checked in. It was cold, and I still stood on the balcony anyway because the view was so awesome, and I wanted to make sure that we got good coverage of what you can see. I mean, from the top of like whether it's the balcony or the restaurant at the top, which we'll talk about, it stretches so far. I mean, you can see so many things from up there. The location is just, oh my gosh.
And it was coldest days we've had in Florida, they said, in years. We actually got into the low 30s that night. I wear shorts every day, pretty much. I wear jeans when we go to the Gaylord Palms for their ice event every year.
Because it's like 9 degrees
in there. It's like 9 degrees in there. And I wore jeans for Tuesday and Wednesday here because it was that cool.
Yeah, he wore pants 2 days in a row.
I don't like wearing long jeans at all.
Happens.
I wear shorts every day. I did have my shorts back on Thursday.
He did. He did.
It was cool, but I wore them anyway. I couldn't go another day wearing
that. Like, whoa, what's this? You have long pants on?
I know. I felt like I was back in Michigan, and I didn't like that feeling of being cold in Florida.
Well, yeah.
And not at Gaylord Palms.
Yeah, there was no ice exhibit. It was just cold.
So
after we checked in,
yes,
we did the video tour of the room, checked everything out,
and we didn't have a lot of time.
No.
When we got there, so we had a 4:30 meet time. Our room was ready at 3:30, and we had to be meeting space at 4:30. So.
Yeah, we went down there about 4:15 to meet up with the group, and then they took us to the 10th floor of the Riviera Resort, which is Topolino's Terrace. Now that is the rooftop restaurant. And speaking of views, oh goodness. Okay, so you could see everything from the 8th floor, don't get me wrong. But from just 2 floors higher, the terrace that they have out there. Granted, it was too cold to sit out there that evening, but they do have like the rope lights and like couches and chairs that you can sit outside.
Right.
You could see. You could see Galaxy's Edge from up there. You see the Tower of Terror up
During
there.
the day, you could actually see the Tree of Life from there.
Yes, I mean you could see like everything as far as you could stretch to the side, because
And the reason it was different from our room, in case you're wondering, is there's basically 3 towers kind of formed. So Topolino's Terrace is on the middle tower, so it's in the middle and you can see both ways. Where our room was on the left, and so when we looked to the right, we saw Topolino's Terrace tower.
Yes. So it's a little bit different. So that's why we probably couldn't see like more of
Galaxy's Edge.
we could see Galaxy's Edge, but like Epcot or
right.
towards the Springs.
We couldn't see that Skyliner track to Epcot.
No, not from our room.
Right, but it was amazing.
But the terrace up there the restaurant itself is gorgeous. The atmosphere is great. The staff is great. We had dinner up there the first night. We ended up having a character breakfast the last night, but we'll talk about that later because that was awesome. So the dinner
was fantastic. Everybody who knows us know Michelle and I are very plain eaters. We don't get into the expensive stuff. I'm allergic to shellfish, so we just avoid seafood at all costs because she doesn't like it. I just avoid it at all costs. And we're not big steak eaters, neither one of us. We're more chicken, turkey, things like that.
And I'm really picky. I'll take it to the next level. I won't eat bone-in chicken. I don't eat pork. I don't eat hardly any beef. And I hate seafood. So when I get a fancy menu put in front of me, I start searching for the most bland thing I can find.
And we had that a couple times during this food tour we went on.
Yeah.
But anyway, so Topolino's, we had pre-ordered our food. Michelle had it was a rigatoni with chicken, I believe?
Yes, it was fantastic. Now, I gave up my low-carb diet for this tour.
You had no choice.
Because I had no choice. I really had good intentions, but when you sit at these restaurants and they put carbs in front of you, it's research. Like, what are you going to do?
And it all started, the first thing they brought out to us was bread. And the bread they form a French baguette to make it look like wheat. Like a wheat leaves.
It's like fancy.
It's very fancy, and then you break off each piece of the leaf. They bring out 2 different types of oil. So we had an Italian olive oil, and then we had a French olive oil, which if you like olives, that oil tastes just like eating a black or green olive to me.
A black or a green olive?
Well, either one. But the oil was that strong of a taste that it made the bread taste just like what olives taste like.
Yeah, it was very good. The food was good. The rigatoni was outstanding. Mm-hmm. What did you have?
I did have a steak. It was a filet that night with, I want to say it had mashed potatoes on it. And then
most of the steaks come with mashed potatoes.
Yeah, most of them come with mashed potatoes. And then the dessert was so sweet but so good. It was that lava cake, but it wasn't a chocolate lava. It was more like a caramel lava inside. Remember when we opened it?
We ate so much food. I actually forgot what we had until you just said that. Yeah. But it was like a lava cake.
It was.
And it was really good.
It was so good.
Look at me, I'm like glowing because I know I'm back on my diet. Can't have it anymore.
It was so good.
It was fantastic.
We probably ate more in the 3 days we were there than what we probably eaten in 3 weeks before that. So we ate a lot. And she was trying to keep her diet, and I told her, I said, you know what, just surrender. You're not going to be able to do it, and you're going to be mad that you didn't try all this good stuff.
I was mad at myself for a while, but I'm back to starving now, so we're good. I can only think about those wonderful dishes that we had and the desserts, and oh god. But we did walk like 20,000 steps a day because of the touring we did. Yeah. So speaking of the touring we did, the next morning we had to be up bright and early at the lobby of the Riviera Resort because the actual work part of things was about to take place. Now, mind you, that is the morning that it was cold.
Yeah, it was, and that's what I was going to say. After dinner, we actually went back to the terrace at 8 o'clock because we were going to try to watch the Star Wars fireworks.
Yes.
And some of you may have saw Michelle did try to go live from there. And we thought, okay, this should be really nice. First off, it was freezing. We were trying to do it, but we were freezing up there. But then we realized they don't pipe in any of the music.
No.
So that was going on, and so was Happily Ever After. You could see in the distance the other way.
Way off in the distance. Now, we're standing on the roof. Our friend John has like almost like a parka on.
Oh, he looked like he was at Gaylord Palms.
He was in Gaylord Palms mode. I only brought...
Oh, he's on right now.
Oh.
I just saw him.
Hi, John.
Hi, John. Now we can't talk bad about him.
Now we can't talk about you anymore. In your parka. No. But anyway, so we were out there with some of our colleagues, and it was cold. Some of them went back inside. And
I don't blame them.
And the wind was high because like I was trying to do a live feed and you could just hear the wind whistling. But it was Florida cold. So the next morning when we got ready to leave, I think I just had a jean jacket on with a long sleeve underneath it, and I just pulled the sleeves down and like one of those loopy scarf things. It was cold.
I had one of my hoodies I wear in Michigan when we're there, my Red Wings hoodie, to try to stay warm because it was crazy cold.
It was cold. So, but it doesn't matter because we were going on a resort tour.
That's right.
And where did we go first?
So we got on the bus. There was 2 teams of us. There was Mickey and Minnie. We were Team Minnie.
Hence this flower arrangement.
Hence the flower. Yes, that's one thing. When we got to our room, this was in our room to greet us.
Some of my flowers are dead, but you can't see them from where you're at.
Now you know they are dead.
Now you know they are. Well, there's some on the side, but it was such a pretty arrangement. So yeah, we were Team Minnie.
Team Minnie. So they had actually the Mickey and Minnie buses sitting out there ready for each team to get on their bus and go to their first.
Yeah, our bus had Minnie on it.
Right. So one of the new wrapped buses. If you haven't seen them, they're wrapping them in different characters, and we had the Minnie one. And we were off to the Contemporary Resort to have breakfast at the Wave.
The Wave.
If you've never been to the Wave, please go. Their breakfast is amazing. It's very affordable in my opinion, considering what some of the breakfast costs on property. It is a buffet, not character or anything like that. But it's not a huge buffet, but the food is really good. There's enough things there to satisfy pretty much any taste. And there's also a menu, so even if you don't want the buffet,
what's on the buffet,
you can order side dishes. One of the things they brought us out to sample was their Krispy Kreme donut French toast. So they take a Krispy Kreme glazed donut, they put the batter on it, they put it on the grill, and they fried it up. And they brought out one order of it for, I think there was 5 of us at our end of the table. And
it sat there and everybody was looking at it because we had already just had buffet food. And then I'm like, I have to try it. It blew my diet anyhow. So I just cut a very little tiny like sliver of this donut. And it was sugar overload. If you are a fan of Krispy Kreme donuts, it is Krispy Kreme donut like overload. I mean, like taken to a level that you can't even imagine. No. I mean, I love sweets, I love donuts, I love all of those things, but it was very sweet.
And it was funny. I honestly didn't try it, but they brought out they cut the donut in half, grilled both sides, and they had it on the plate, and it was plated really nice. Michelle took a little bite. Lou Mangello was with us, and John was with us at our table, and another friend, Susanna. And just Michelle, Lou, and Panda ate, and they still didn't eat half of the piece because it was so sweet.
Actually, we just sort of tried it for research purposes.
And then they brought out avocado toast, which is another one of their specialties they do there. It's for the vegan people, so that came out. But the menu there is great. If you haven't been to the Wave, give it a shot. We've only been there for breakfast. We haven't tried any of the other.
No, because we're picky eaters, and I know they have seafood and such at night.
Yeah, we don't.
But in the daytime, it's you know, they had waffles, they had biscuits, they had eggs, they had different pastries, they had yogurt, fruit, all kinds of good things. I'm hungry.
Different types of eggs, different like eggs with chorizo, eggs without it.
Yeah, and it's not that expensive either. Considering what a Disney breakfast
and you get your annual pass holder if you're an annual pass holder. So
yes, it was excellent. And I don't know her name, but I did run into a Main Streeter there who was celebrating her 50th birthday and stopped me to say hello. So if you're watching, I hope you had a wonderful birthday.
Yes,
and thank you for stopping us to say hi.
So after breakfast, they decided they were going to whisk our group away, and we went up to the top floor to go to California Grill. We had never been up to California Grill, and of course it was not open because this was about 9:30 in the morning, but they let us go up there to get pictures of the restaurant. We were able to go out on their terrace.
Which was cold.
But we couldn't stop taking photos, and that's how everybody in the group was, because we all went out on the terrace. We all went to the very edge of the terrace because you were looking right into the Magic Kingdom.
Oh my gosh.
So you could see Space Mountain, you could see Tron really well.
Yes.
You could see the castle, you could see Pirates, you could see Splash Mountain.
You could see like the hill on Splash Mountain. That's how good of a view it is up there. You could really see almost everything at the Magic Kingdom. It was such a good view. I was freezing, but I didn't want to go back inside because you're just trying to take it all in. It was absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, and then you add that with the Floridian across the way. You got the Polynesian on the way, and then Bay Lake Tower was right behind us. So the view up there is it's absolutely amazing. For those who have been to California Grill, you know exactly what we're talking about. If you do get to go to California Grill and you're there during Happily Ever After, from what I understand, they do pipe in the music.
Yeah,
during the fireworks.
They did tell us too that normally they're not open in the day, so seeing a morning view of the restaurant and what you could actually see from the windows is kind of rare because they're an evening type place, and most people come there, like you said, to watch fireworks. So being there in the daytime and seeing how far, again, just like at Riviera, how far the views stretch at Disney from these resorts is crazy. It's really cool.
And we did find out while we were there is considered 3 rooftop dining experiences, which we got to experience all 3 of them, not eat at all 3, but we did get to go up to all 3 of them during this trip.
We did.
So that would be Topolino's Terrace, California Grill, and then the last night dinner we had at Toledo.
Yes.
Is that it?
We say Toledo because
we're
from
Toledo,
Michigan.
like Toledo, Ohio.
Like Toledo, Ohio.
But I think it's Toledo. But that's
Sure,
also
that's
rooftop
not
dining,
it.
which we'll get to later. So there are 3 rooftops. So if you have a bucket list and you like to accomplish things, eating at those 3 restaurants is an accomplishment actually to eat all
and if you like pretty views while you're eating, you are all set.
And all 3 of them have amazing views. Amazing.
Yes. So okay, after the Contemporary, where did we go?
After the California Grill, we boarded a bus and we were headed over to Wilderness Lodge. The lodge is one of my favorite resorts on property. Just walking into the lobby area, the woods and the way they built the inside.
I love it at Christmas time when they have the big tree up. It's so pretty.
Yes, and they got one of the best trees, I think, once that one goes up. It's fantastic. So we love going there and seeing all that. We went there and we got to do our room tour. So we got to see, they actually took us outside the Copper Creek Villas and we got to go into one of the villas. Wow.
One of the cabin cottages.
Yeah, they're awesome.
Like something that you would see, like what you saw like in pictures, let's say, to actually walk through these cottages is a totally different experience. And how they're set up and how it's like different styles of cottages like right next to each other, like all along this path.
Yeah.
And when you go in, again, just like I said with the Riviera Resort, you could live there. You really could live there. It reminds me of a cottage or cabin up north, like from where we're from.
And you're looking out over the water. On the back deck, patio, whatever you want to call it, it is screened in, so you don't have to worry about the bugs or whatever in the summer down here in Florida.
Yes.
But there is a hot tub built into the...
Or a spa.
Or a spa, whatever you want to call it.
Jacuzzi.
Right there on where you can sit out there and enjoy the water of the lake and the boats.
And look outside.
The electric water pageant would be fantastic to see from that.
Yeah, so yes. Okay, so we keep it real. They're expensive. Now, I had people comment on the live feeds I was doing, and I don't know who said it, but it stuck out in my head. Somebody said on the live feed, that is gorgeous. No wonder they're a bajillion dollars to stay in.
And nobody can afford a bajillion
She
dollars.
said bajillion. And it made me laugh because I was understanding what that comment was referring to. Because, when you look up, how much it costs to stay at different places at, Disney, of course, some of it is very expensive, and it did run, I think, almost $1,000 a night.
It was almost $1,000, depending on the time of year. And that's one thing you'll find that when we left some of these rooms, we walked out, and then we started instantly doing a search to find out what they were going for. And of course, the rates fluctuate throughout the year. There's always specials, there's always things, so you really have to check it. And you may be able to find those for $600-$700. That's a lot of money still, but it's a big discount off $1,000 or whatever.
It wasn't a bajillion. But they have a fireplace that's like two-sided, where you can sit outside and enjoy the fireplace, or you can sit inside and enjoy the fireplace. They have a big eating area.
Nice kitchen.
Nice kitchen, the bedrooms. It was beautiful. Now, I just want to put a disclaimer because I love everything Disney and I appreciate everything Disney does for me, so I'm not trying to poke fun with the bajillion comment. So I really do think that we were talking about it because they were showing us the more expensive things. I think it depends on how you prioritize your vacation, because some, when they go to Disney, they want to stay in luxury.
Exactly.
They want to stay top-notch places. Not that anything isn't top-notch,
right.
But sometimes they want to stay at the deluxe resorts and get the most out of that. Exactly. And then there's others who maybe don't put as much emphasis on the room per se, because they want to park hop all day, every day. Or
they just need a place to sleep at night.
Yeah. Or some just want to spend the extra money on, food and souvenirs rather than, I know,
Right.
because when we used to travel to Disney before we moved here, we were all about park hopping and buying stuff.
Yeah, we were the ones that were there when the park opened and we stayed till close. And our room at the hotel was just to shower in the morning and sleep at nighttime, and that was really all we used.
We were never in the room.
No, we never hung out in the rooms. But there's people who actually they go to the resort. They never even go to parks. There's
some
people I
that
know,
don't.
DVC members I know, who come to Disney, and they may not even touch a park the whole time they're there. They come for the experience. They come to be at Disney. They come to go to the restaurants, the resorts.
Yeah.
And when we put out our room tour, we actually had somebody that left a paragraph explaining they thought it was boring, that it wasn't fun, it wasn't Disney, and that's the Riviera is not Art of Animation. It is not Pop Century, it's not All Stars, it is not any of those places. It is very nice and very quiet and very subtle Disney.
Yeah.
This is the way to say it.
Yeah, it was kind of cool because, truth be told, it's probably not in our budget to spend $1,000 a night.
Unless we do a GoFundMe.
Which
So
we
if anybody
would not
wants
do.
to send GoFundMe for us
No,
to
we're not
stay
doing
there.
that.
I'm teasing.
So, I
I'm
mean,
teasing.
so this was kind of a unique opportunity for us to see what the upscale offerings are. And I would say that the cottages definitely are very upscale.
And I would love the opportunity to stay in one.
Yes.
We've always said one we would like to stay is the Treehouse Suites at Saratoga.
You said you wanted
would
to
like
stay.
to, too.
No, it's all him. He always says, you mentioned the tree houses, and he says, oh, I'd love to stay at the tree houses.
She would stay there too because she thought they were
Well,
cool
because
and
I would have to
cool.
go with you, but that's your bucket list resort is the tree house.
She wants to stay at every resort, so that counts.
Okay, I won't fight with him. But anyway, so this is kind of along the same thing.
It is. And then we saw something else at Wilderness.
We went in
Was
and we
that one
saw
bedroom or
the
two
villas,
bedroom?
like the 1-bedroom villa, I think, and a 2-bedroom
I
villa,
think so. Very
which
nice
we've
rooms.
seen before. But they are very nice. I mean, anything at the Wilderness Lodge is nice.
It is. The whole resort is nice. The grounds are really nice.
You're paying for atmosphere, I
You
believe,
really are.
too.
You
You
really
know,
are.
I mean, because of the theming every resort has its own special theme. So it just depends on what you're looking to get out of your vacation.
And I didn't realize how far away some of those villas are from the lobby at Wilderness Lodge.
They
We
really
walked quite a
are. We
ways.
walk quite a ways.
I think we were going to see room 25, 26?
25 or 26. We walked quite a ways
Right,
down
and they're
the path.
single filed, so we had to go 26 resorts
We walked
or
a lot.
26
We walked a
villas
lot.
down to that. But it was well worth it to be able to see that, to see what those entail and what you get in those. It was absolutely amazing, and we loved it. We did notice the H2O stuff for like the soaps and stuff that they upgraded in those villas.
They looked fancier.
They got toothbrushes, razors, shaving kits, everything.
Well,
in
you
there.
are spending a
You are
bajillion
spending
dollars
a bajillion dollars. So I guess for a bajillion they'll give you those things. But it was fantastic.
I
And,
want Mickey bars in my freezer too, right?
I bet you if you asked and you paid that much, you'd probably wake up with Mickey bars in your food.
Oh, I don't know. And then it'd be like,
It'd be interesting to see.
I don't know the answer to that. Please don't quote us on that. We're
No,
just
don't
talking.
quote us. But if you get it, let us know. We'd love to know.
We'd love to know.
So after the room tours, they took us back to the lobby, and the Mickey group met with us for lunch. And we did meet with lunch for both days with them, but we went to lunch at Whispering Canyon. And for those that
Which
know,
everybody loves Whispering
everybody loves
Canyon.
Whispering Canyon. And if you recall, it was about a year ago or so, there was a report that Whispering Canyon was going to pull back on some of their antics and stuff like that.
They were going to like tone back the banter that the wait staff has with the guests.
They did not.
They did not.
It was awesome.
It was funny how that they tease you and it's still the same about, if you ask for ketchup or if you ask for more drinks or tell them what happened with you.
So actually, I didn't even ask for it. I was drinking my drink and it was going fast. So he brought me over a little more Diet Coke, which was, if you know, they bring out like mason jars for your drink. So he brought me out, it was one of the salt shaker containers
With a
of
little
Diet
bit of Diet
Coke and a
Coke.
straw. And then like 2 minutes later, he walks up and he had like the jelly jar with a little more Diet Coke
With
in
a
it.
big old straw.
With a big old straw.
Yeah.
He had ice in there. I don't know how he did it. Then even a few minutes later, and this was the funniest one, they brought me out, if you've ever seen like room service Tabasco jars, they had taken one of the Tabasco jars and filled that with Diet Coke and brought that. So Michelle did post the photos. I think there's a video somewhere of that
On
also.
our Facebook page, I don't know if you saw it, there's a lineup of 4 different sizes of Diet Coke. And we thought that was pretty hysterical.
It was hilarious. And I kept waiting because I know that sometimes they have a really big picture.
He
of
was
it.
waiting for
I want
the
the
big
one.
Diet Coke, but he got all the little sizes.
I What's funny is John was sitting next to me, and he was the head of the table, so the waiter put the tablecloth around John as a big napkin.
Yeah,
he said, "You're going to be the sloppy one."
Yeah, the messiest at the table, so he put a tablecloth around him. And then there was somebody celebrating a birthday behind us. They sang happy birthday, and our waiter took the birthday cupcake and ate half of it, flipped it upside down, smashed it, and stuck it on the guy's table like happy birthday, and walked away. Of course, they brought him
a new one,
a new cupcake.
But it was just funny because the waiter was like getting the crowd singing, and then all of a sudden, like on the second verse, he just took a big old bite of the cupcake, and he's sitting there chewing it, and people stop singing, and he's like, "No, keep singing, keep singing."
He's chewing this cupcake with his mouth open. He turned around and just like smashed it.
With like a ball when he got done.
Oh, well, that was interesting.
So funny.
So people that don't know the whole back thing that they do at Whispering Canyon might have been taken aback, like. You know,
that's true. If you've never been there,
if you didn't know anything about it, you'd be like, "What is going on?"
One person in our party got put in their jail, so they actually bring over bars and wood, and they put you behind that you're in jail. If you've never been to Whispering Canyon, it is a fun experience to go check it out. They do have a regular menu where you can order whatever you want, but then they have these plates where you order and you get like a skillet. Yeah, you get different meats and potatoes and vegetables, cornbread on the table. It's all great food, all very good.
And funny. It's like entertaining.
It is. The staff there is just top notch. They are very outgoing, and they have a great time.
And if you want a little bit of Diet Coke, you'll get you a little bit of Diet Coke.
And they have the straw stuck to it too. Yeah. And it's like those straws you get in Pandora for the bubble drink or whatever it is. I think that's what those straws were.
Yes, it was.
Yeah,
yes.
To get that through. So
after lunch, did I mention it was cold?
And guess where they're going to take us next?
On the boat.
We're going to go on the boats and go over to the campground.
Go over to the campgrounds.
And we've been on a boat we had never rowed before. It was probably the most open boat you could have ever asked for on that day. I actually gave her my jacket because I had my jacket on at that point. I gave her my jacket to help keep her warmer. And it was funny. But the best part was as we were going over on the boat, we got to see the construction of the new resort that's going in.
Where River Country was.
Right, where River Country was. So you see a lot of, no building has started, but you can see where they're clearing the land. They're starting to put the dirt in, and they're starting to make everything come together. The beach is closed over at the campground.
The beach is closed over there. And you can see, like, they don't think... The building where Mickey's Backyard Barbecue is still there was a big brown building. I'm not sure if that's it, but right after that brown building, everything is starting to be leveled like to the side.
And what's the name? I can't remember the name of the new resort. I keep forgetting. I can't remember it.
Why'd you ask me that?
Because I was trying to think of it and I couldn't remember it either.
I'll probably remember after we shut the camera off.
But there's probably somebody that knows what it is. But it was so much fun to go over that way because it was cold, but at least we had something to look at as we rode over there to see the construction and the progress of it. And that was one of the questions they did ask is how much is that resort taking away from the campground? They said nothing. That's not
because the campground is still accessible.
Exactly.
And we found that out because we did a golf cart tour after that.
Which was pretty cool, actually. They put us all, 2 people in a golf cart, and they just took us around the property, and that is the best way to get around that property.
It was cold.
It was cold. Did we mention it was cold?
It was cold, but I'm not complaining though because the opportunity to go to the different resorts. Oh, Chuck.
Yep, Reflections.
Thank you, Chuck.
I knew it was something like that.
The new resort that they're building. It was very cool to have the opportunity to go and learn about the different things on property like that. We took the golf carts to some of the play areas, the main pool, and this was really interesting. We got to go see like concept art of the new Tricircle D Ranch, like the stable that's being built.
Yeah, the new barn they're building. If you remember, if you've ever been to Trails Inn or Hoop-de-Doo Review, the barn was right there where some of the horses were housed. And last year, I think they closed that to rebuild. And they said it's going to be open in the spring. In the spring. But we did get to see the concept art. It looks really nice.
It looks very nice. It's going to be bigger. And we found out that the Sleepy Hollow experience at the barn is coming back. Now, that event sells out very, very quickly. Now, they did not tell us a date about the whole Sleepy Hollow. I call it the Sleepy Hollow experience. I don't know what it's really called, but it's where you go
John knows, because he's the one that asked about it 1,000 times.
It's where you go to watch the Sleepy Sleepy Hollow movie and have little Sleepy Hollow treats and then get a picture with the Headless Horseman.
He comes running up there.
I want to do that so badly. And I know last time they had it, the last round, tickets sold like in a day.
Yeah, quickly. So when it comes out, we'll probably buy our tickets, then we'll put the blog out. Just make sure
we'll make sure we got our tickets. No.
And John said he's treating everybody who wants to go.
He's buying everybody Sleepy Hollow tickets.
He's really not. Don't go.
He's
don't
really
tell him I said that.
So as soon as we find out details as far as that event for Halloween time, we will let you know. Because as of right now, they're not giving us anything.
No details, but we found out a lot of interesting things about the horses, how they're cared for, how they bring new ones in, and what they do with them once they're retired. So it was just really informative and really interesting to learn how well Disney does take care of the horses. I mean, like as they do any animals, but it was kind of cool to hear what they were talking about and how each horse has a different role, and some horses are trained for multiple roles, pulling certain carriages or for weddings or what have you. So it was really interesting. I really enjoyed that part.
Yes, and John was super stoked about the Sleepy Hollow thing.
Yeah.
I think we were joking on our bus to him that like if we were having a drinking game, like every time John said Sleepy Hollow, everybody would be done for within like a half hour. He was pretty excited, and for everything that I've heard about it, it is really, really a great thing. So I'm gonna hopefully put that on our agenda.
We teased him about that throughout the next day, even. I mean, it was.
We don't know how to let things go. You know, if something's funny, it's funny.
Yeah.
So
we finished our campground tour, and we were back on buses this time. So they had the mini bus sitting there at the front of the campground for us to board, and we left there and we went over to Animal Kingdom Lodge.
Yeah.
Right? Yep, that was the next one. So we went over to the Animal Kingdom Lodge, and we got to, first they brought us into the lobby, and we got to see some of the art you see around the lobby, and they explained the meaning of some of it. They had a gentleman, I believe he was from Africa.
He's from Africa.
He's from Africa, and he was explaining the meaning of, there's one that looks like two zebras, and there was one that was two people, and then in the back is the world's largest headdress.
It's like a 200-pound, they called it a mask.
Or head mask, yeah.
It was like a mask, and it's this big old thing that I still don't understand how somebody could actually wear it.
Yeah, but it was
250 pounds,
right.
I think, wasn't
and
it?
then the goal is to whoever wears it, they have to bow with it on without losing it, and that's how they're granted.
Because that should be super easy, right?
Yeah,
to
that's
put
super
250 pounds on your head and then wear it around.
Yeah, so if you're ever in their lobby in the back before you get
it's
to go outside,
it's towards the left hand side.
on the left hand side, there's a big there, and it almost you would never expect that's what it is. I would never.
Yeah, because he asked, like the guide asked, does anybody know what this is? And we're like,
nobody knew.
No. It almost looked like something you would see on a parade float or something.
It did, yeah.
It didn't look like a mask, as they were calling it.
No.
So,
and that was at Jumbo House. Somebody asked Kadani or Jumbo. We were at Jumbo House.
And then we walked out the back door, and we learned a little bit about the wildlife preserve back there, cool. Safari area. What do they call it?
The reserve, wasn't it?
It's the Savannah View.
Savannah View, sorry.
That's it. Wrong episode.
Yeah, they had and I didn't know this, and we found this out, that there's actually something you can do there, and you get beads when you accomplish certain things to make a bead, like necklace or whatever it was that they wore on the side.
Something like that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was kind of cool. Little things you do.
They showed us hidden Mickeys out there. We got to see, there was zebra, and there was like 3 giraffe out there.
They were in the distance.
So it was really kind of neat because it was a little cooler, and they said the animals are more active when it's not so hot. But they also said if it's too cold, they get really sluggish and they don't want to. So
which is understandable.
Like it's cold. Like they wouldn't have wanted to be on that boat.
We get the same way, and we get the same way.
Don't you get a little sluggish when you're cold? Like you just want to bundle up and stay put, I guess. So, but it was kind of neat to see the Savannah View rooms at Animal Kingdom Lodge. I mean. Again, views. I know I keep pushing the whole thing about the views from these various resorts. I love a good view. I do.
She does, and we actually did stay at Animal Kingdom Lodge years ago. We stayed in Kadani Village, and the view was just amazing. To wake up every morning, look out the window, and
go see the animals walking. I mean, it just depends on what kind of theming you're looking for. But oh my gosh.
Disney has something to appeal to everybody, I think. Somewhere on property, there's something for everybody. So, but after we did a room tour there also. We got to see one of their suites, very nice. They just said they remodeled them, I think, recently. They had just redone everything in there.
Yes.
And the one we saw was just redone, looked really great. And then we went to Jico for dinner, which we had never been. Everybody's always told us how great it was, but we, again, were plain. We don't like anything fancy, but we did go there. It was actually, I was really impressed how good it was. I didn't expect that. I didn't know what I was expecting, but again, it was steak because that's the only thing we could eat. You didn't like it?
No. I was told if you can't say anything nice, you don't say anything. Just saying.
It was good though. I thought it was good. If you like that kind of food.
If you like that sort of thing.
If you'd like to be adventurous.
Which I'm not.
What did we have for dessert there though?
Oh my gosh. It was like, it looked like lava cake, but then when you put your spoon on it, it was like hitting rock. It was like, bink.
Yeah, it was almost like they freeze dried it somehow to where you'd hit it. But
yeah, you
once
have to
broke it,
actually
good.
like smack it
was
open.
a brownie, wasn't it?
It was like a brownie, but it had like, was it cayenne pepper or something in it?
It had pepper in it to kind of give it a little bit of
I
spice
like my
of
brownies
chocolate.
like soft with a lump of ice cream on them.
There was
Not
ice cream.
hard with pepper.
Well, wasn't there ice cream?
I don't know. I think
Or was that another one of them?
I don't even know. If you like adventurous type foods, you'll love it. Let's just say that.
And again, I had steak. She had steak.
If you're boring
Their
like
macaroni
myself,
and cheese was very
oh, they
good.
did have good macaroni and cheese. I'll say that. I'll do
That was good. It was a good
I'll give them
macaroni and
that.
cheese. Somebody ordered a side of it.
Everybody raved about the food. They did. So just ignore me. If you are a fussy eater like me, you might have a hard time finding something.
You will. Check the
It's
menus
very
before you go
different,
there.
so please check it.
Yes, check your menus before you get there, and make sure there's stuff you like. So after dinner, though, we were done for the day, which was good because we were exhausted. So they put us in minivans to take us back to the Riviera, which we had not done a minivan yet.
We
so
have
it was
not.
kind of cool.
That was fun.
It was fun. So we got back to the Riviera, and we got back and we sat down for about 20 minutes, and then Michelle goes, "Okay, I'm ready to go do something." So in the cold weather, we decided, okay, well, let's go do something. So we jumped on the Skyliner and we headed over to the Art of Animation Resort. Not realizing we were going to be going there the next day. We forgot about that, but we didn't care.
We wanted to go
nighttime.
get. First of all, I needed to get his butt on the Skyliner because he had never been on it yet. So mission accomplished there. Second of all, I wanted to find out because everybody, like you lovely people, have asked me before. Is the Skyliner cold when it's cold? Is it hot when it's hot? And just for research purposes, just so you know, when it's freezing cold in Florida, they shut the slats on the Skyliner so you don't have the wind blowing in your face.
Right.
You feel air at the bottom because they're not going to cut your air supply off, of course, but because that would be bad. But the slats of the cross breeze, no. So you're not cold on a cold night.
Yeah,
Just
so they did close those out because she was, as we were walking up to it, she goes, "I really hope it's not cold." But
I wanted to go see the
worry.
Rapunzel mosaic wall. Now, I know you've seen me post pictures obnoxiously about this wall. It's like it's the walkway
There's two
from the
sides
Riviera.
of the wall.
But I don't talk about the other side of the wall because the Tangled side is much prettier.
No, I meant there's two sides of the Tangled. There's one.
Yeah, I thought you meant the other one.
No,
right?
I wasn't talking about the other side.
We're not talking about that one. We're talking about the Tangled one.
The only one that matters.
It is the best photo opportunity ever next to the Tangled restroom.
So on the one side you have the castle from Tangled, which you take your picture from, and then the other side is it their boat or it's her tower, right?
Yes.
It was the Tangled Tower for Rapunzel.
And there's lanterns ahoy all the way across. I could just sit there and just look at it.
It's a really cool piece of art.
It's beautiful.
It is.
So anyway, we took the Skyliner over and did not freeze. We got off at the Art of Animation Pop Century stop over there.
Right. So you either go left or right depending on which resort you want to go to.
And then we walked around Animal Kingdom. No, I'm sorry. Art of Animation. Sorry, I see my resorts are getting all screwy. And we wanted to go see the Cars area at night because we love us some California Adventure at the Disney.
Have we ever mentioned that before?
We love California Adventure.
Love California
the kids
Adventure.
love it out there. And the Cars area sort of kind of at night reminds us of Cars Land. So we went and we took we posted video, if you saw, of walking through that area, and it sort of kind of does give you that California vibe.
And the one thing, and I'm going to mention this not only because we did go back there the next day, and the tour guide the next day told us that you meet the Cars characters in the order you met them in the movie, basically. So you first run into the sheriff, then you run in to Doc. And then it was Flo and Ramon, and just the way you walk through it, that's the way they appeared in the movie, and they did that purposely so you'd meet them the same way.
And they have like the cozy cone, and they have like the pool, and then they have inside the cones by the pool is like a little table and sitting area.
And those are free.
It was very reminiscent of being in California. and made us want to go.
But nobody was in the pools.
Because you know why?
Because it was cold.
Because it was cold.
They were actually closed. They had the pools
They had all the
closed
pools
because
closed because it was too cold.
So the big blue pool at that's in the, I guess it's the Nemo area.
Nemo section, yes.
That one was completely empty, which was great for photos because how often do you actually see a Disney pool and it's completely empty?
That's right. We were cold, but I didn't care because we were on a mission to get photos and video because that's what you do. We worked so hard that day with coverage. And I was like, what's one more resort? Let's go. So we went back to the room and I took a bath because I was like frozen. And because we're frozen. And I had to be up, we had to be up the next morning bright and early.
Again,
to do
8 o'clock we had to be
tour.
on the bus.
Yes. So where do we have breakfast at last?
So the next morning, we get up, get ready, get down there in time, and we're heading on the bus and we went over to the yacht club to have breakfast at Ale and Compass. We had never been to Ale and Compass, so it was something we were not sure if we were gonna like it or what, but it was pretty good actually. It's not a full buffet. I don't know how to explain. It's more like
it's like a partial buffet, and you order like one hot meal. Like you order what did I order?
You had the caramel apple French toast.
And I scraped the apples off because again, plain eater. So I had French toast
with lots of caramel, and it had like the raisins in there too, the golden raisins with the apple, and then a lot of caramel. So she scraped it all off. But the buffet had fruits, yogurts, biscuits and gravy. I think it was lots of bagels, English muffins, paste.
They had like the cheddar biscuits, kind of like what you get at Red Lobster.
Those were really good biscuits.
If you are a carb person, you are
our friend.
Oh my gosh! It was so good. Like it is very hard to eat low carb at any breakfast at Disney because of all the pastries and waffles and wonderful things.
What did I have? I just had plain eggs and bacon.
I think you did.
Potatoes breakfast. Nothing
and
fancy.
They gave us like these fancy mimosas and stuff. I mean, it was really.
It was nice. I don't know.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, if
fancy.
I'm sure there's lots of people who've gone there and they love it. So I don't know if it's one we would go back to.
Probably not. But it was higher end and it was fancy and again plain eaters. But the food was good. The food was good.
It was good. It was good. But I don't know if I would pay the premium to go back there for me personally. I mean, others may love it there. There's other stuff. I know what Lou had was some kind of hash thing, and it looked really good. Whatever he had. So
yeah, they didn't have like French toast donuts or anything.
No, they didn't have that. So unfortunately, sadly, they didn't have that there.
No. But while we were there, we toured rooms at the Yacht Club and Beach Club.
And there was a room at the Yacht Club that was very impressive. That I didn't even know these rooms existed.
I didn't either.
Especially at the Yacht Club.
It was the biggest room I think I've ever seen.
And it was called a turret?
A turret suite.
Turret room. So I did look out the one window, and there is like a octagon type.
It's almost like
it's
almost like a sitting room.
Yeah.
It's almost like if you were having like a business meeting in there. They had all these tables and chairs. There were 4 showers.
4 showers, 3 bathrooms, but one bathroom had 2 showers in it.
I mean, like, I don't even know. Like, they didn't even have prices on this suite.
No,
because we're trying to figure it out. Call for pricing. So, but you could.
How do you do it?
Call for pricing. It's almost like if you have to ask, you can't afford it. Isn't that what they say about restaurants?
Yes.
About
this room
restaurants?
has 3 doors to get into the room.
It's huge.
It was
like
massive.
you and 20 of your friends could come and stay there and still have room.
And how many square feet was that room?
1,600 square feet.
1,600. The house we had in Michigan was smaller.
Was smaller than that. We have 1,400 square feet.
But we didn't pay that much a month either.
Oh no. I'm guessing the one night at that suite is probably more than our house payment was for the whole month.
It'd have to be. It'd have to be. And then you have such a great view right outside there because you're looking over the water. Hourglass Lake is right outside there. And then the pool and everything, so yeah.
But you're paying for luxury.
But they did say if you rent that room, you get concierge level service.
As you should. You and your 20 friends better get something.
And I bet you get a Mickey bar in the freezer then if you ask.
Maybe.
Just saying.
You and 20 of your closest friends.
I'll get a Mickey bar. You get a Mickey bar. You get a Mickey bar.
It's pretty fun.
So we better get moving here.
I know we gotta. We were talking. We were way too chatty tonight. There was a lot to cover.
So we left the turret suite. They took us out to show us the pool area there, and they have nice cabanas you can rent. Their pool is the biggest pool on property. We found out. I think he said 750,000 gallons of water in that pool, and it's a sand bottom.
Beautiful.
Cool, with the filter.
So Beach Club is on my to-do list
Yes,
as well.
awesome. Once we left the pool area, we walked through Beaches and Cream, which if you haven't been there, they did remodel.
They
It's
revamped
a lot bigger
it.
now.
It's bigger.
It's a lot bigger.
Really cute.
Really nice. We're gonna have to go back there. We've never been to Beaches and Cream.
We went to the walk-up window when they
once,
had it,
but
that
we've
doesn't
never
count.
sat.
Like, we've never sat and got the kitchen sink. I know that's like sacrilege Disney-wise, but we have not.
So we'll have to do that.
Sorry.
Soon. And we'll have to document.
We've taken pictures of them, but we haven't had one ourselves.
We have.
So, and then after, we're trying to like wrap up this tour here.
So we left Beaches and Cream. They took us into the beach club. We did see, we saw the kids area there, the pirates.
Oh yeah, there's
kids
like a pirate area.
Which was kind of cool. And the kids actually battle Captain Hook somewhere in the party, or they become a member of his crew. I'm not sure.
It's like kid drop off.
It was a babysitting service, basically, is what they told us. Where they feed the kids. It's a afternoon, evening type thing.
So
they
if mom
do
and dad
there.
want to go to one of the fancy restaurants, you can drop the kids off.
Yeah, and they get fed there. I think $75,
70 or 80, I'm not
yeah.
sure.
But that includes their dinner plus the activity. I think 3 or 4 hours of it there. And they even had pirate vests for the kids to go swimming and stuff with. So it sounds like it was a great deal. And if you want a break from the kids, that's a great place to drop them off at Disney. Get away from your kids and go ahead.
Next.
Anyway, okay, so we left that area and then we jumped on a bus and we went over to Art of Animation, where we had gone the night before, but this time we got to see a tour and they took us into one of the Cars rooms, actually the Cars suite, which was really nice.
Yes, they have the bed that pulls out, your kitchen table turns into a pull-down bed. So they revamped the whole Cars building and they're redoing all the buildings.
Yes.
It's in the works.
Yeah, it's awesome.
And then...
So then we did the tour there. We walked over to... No, that wasn't it. I take that back. I was going to say something.
It was a lot, you guys. You'll have to excuse us.
Okay. After we leave the Cars area, we jumped back on the Skyliner and we went over to Caribbean Beach, where we went on a tour there. But we stopped at Sebastian's Bistro and had lunch.
Yes, we had lunch at Sebastian's Bistro, which usually is not open at lunchtime, so you can't go there for lunch.
Right. And it's a Caribbean flavor type food, so they had jerk chicken, they had pulled pork, and I can't remember I think the other one was a vegetable something or other.
Like Cajun
and then there was rice and black beans and a salad, and we had salad. And key lime pie.
Oh, let's talk about the positive. Let's see. They say they are known for their famous key lime pie. Like, it was like a mile-high key lime pie. Oh, and they only gave us little slivers of it. I could have given back that salad and those Cajun veggies. Just give me the key lime pie.
Give me like 12 of them.
It was probably, like, this is big to say because I do love my desserts.
It was awesome.
It was the best key lime pie I think I have ever had. It was so thick with like the graham cracker. It was almost like a cheesecake key lime pie.
I know it was not you said that.
Oh, it was so good.
And then they gave us a chocolate. Was that a
some sort of a
mousse?
pudding.
Yeah.
But I could have eaten just key lime pie for lunch. I mean, I already blew my diet. Just give me the key lime pie.
And really, the samples they gave us are just little slivers, like 2 bites in.
God, I'm sitting here thinking about desserts now. It's terrible.
So anyway, we finished lunch at Sebastian's. Then they took us to one of the pirate rooms, which we had not seen yet. So that was kind of cool to actually see the pirate room. The beds are in the shape of pirate ships. I realized I don't think I could fit in one of the beds. I think I'm too tall. That my feet would be hanging over the edge.
But it's cute theming.
But it's a great theme. It really is. So if you done it and you like it, great. I wish I could stay there because I would like to sleep in a pirate bed. At least 12-year-old Scott would like to sleep. Okay, who am I lying?
Alright, whatever.
Anyway, so we left there, we jumped back on our bus. I'm sorry, we're trying to wrap up here. And they took us over to All-Star Movies. And they wanted to show us.
Oh, yes.
They took us to All-Star Movies.
Gosh,
so they
we did a lot.
All-Star Movies just went through a complete renovation of all the rooms. The key thing I took out of it, though, is all the rooms have been upgraded to queen-size beds from double-size beds.
You can actually, adults can sleep in the beds now.
Right, because when Michelle and I, our honeymoon was at All-Star Movies. And then we actually went back the next year with the boys and stayed at All-Star Movies. I don't fit in a double bed. And for the 2 of us to be in a double bed really doesn't work. So I was happy to hear they upgraded to queen. They put the one bed that folds down kind of like you did at the Cars room.
Yeah.
So you have a little bit more room in the room itself with not 2 beds being down the full time. You just pull it down at nighttime. The table's there. Really nice. The renovation went great. Then we went over to the Toy Story area. Got to see that little area they have over there, which was really cool to see. But that was it there. Then they took us on a bus and we went over to Coronado.
Yes. So we got to see some of the renovations at Coronado. We walked through one of the suites at the Grand Destino Tower, which, if you remember correctly, I did do the media event for that last summer. So I know that we already did a walkthrough, and I believe I put more video up. But I love the Grand Destino Tower.
Very nice. The
It's
elevators
gorgeous.
are cool.
And the view, let's talk about the view again. We had dinner that night at their rooftop restaurant.
Oh, look at that. There's the lady who you met at the Wave.
Is
Jennifer,
it?
yeah, it was so good meeting you at the Wave on my birthday last Wednesday, Michelle.
Oh my gosh, I talked about you earlier in the show. Hi. I hope you had a good birthday. Oh, that's so great. I just talked about you. See, I didn't make up the story, guys. There really was a Main Streeter at the Wave celebrating her birthday. That's awesome. You just made my day.
Thank you, Jennifer.
Thank you so much.
So back to Destino Tower.
Yeah, so the restaurant up there is fancy.
It is so fancy.
Fancy.
So when we go into some of these restaurants, they give us a menu that is not the full menu, it's a smaller menu. And they brought out these little, I guess,
We didn't eat
shareable
much.
samplers. So
Just
we didn't
gonna
eat
be
those.
honest with you, we didn't eat much.
Then they brought out the salad that had anchovies and
egg.
in it. We didn't try those. And then they brought out the steak.
It was poached egg. Is that what? No,
poached
what-
egg,
is it
yeah. No,
poached?
it was a poached egg inside the salad with the anchovy and lettuce
We're like,
and vinaigrette dressing, I believe is what
yeah, we
had
did
on
not
it.
have that.
But then they did bring out the steak. The potatoes were good. The mashed potatoes were.
So I don't even eat beef normally, but when there is nothing else that you will eat on the menu, you do what you
And it wasn't
do.
a lot. They don't give you.
It's a very small menu, but it is for a certain type of palate. We're just not fancy eaters. But if you are a fancy eater and you like a good view, I'm sure.
And you're adventurous with food.
We're not
You're willing to
adventurous.
try stuff.
We're just so not adventurous with food. I like my same old type of food.
But the dessert there again was good.
What did they give us for dessert?
There was that little. It was like a brownie, but remember there was like the 3 different colors on
Yes.
it. So there was a cheesecake, there was a lemon, and then
like
there was
a
a
raspberry on top of this chocolate bar, and then they had like a creme brulee type of
creme brulee was pretty
custard,
good.
something.
I thought that was good.
Yes.
So, but that was it. We walked around a little bit more of the lobby, and then they put us on minivans again to take us back to the Riviera. But once we got there, Disney had asked all of us to go over to the Magic Kingdom for after hours party. So after we walked our 20,000 steps, we jumped on a bus and we went over to the Magic Kingdom, and we were there till about, well, it was midnight by the time we got back. It was a little after midnight.
Yes.
Got back to the room.
But I will tell you, it was cooler out, and doing after hours in January, it felt like we had Magic Kingdom to ourselves.
It
It was
felt
a
like there was
ghost town.
nobody
I mean, we
there.
got to do Seven Dwarfs walk on.
Everything was walk.
Everything was
Yeah.
was walk on. And of course, after hours, you get ice cream with your admission, popcorn, and drinks.
Drinks.
So it was really nice. We wanted to go and do the after hours party just to cover it. And yeah, we were tired, but Disney, gave it as an extra option to our media trip. So we wanted to do that. And then the next morning it was time to check out. But we got to go back to Topolino's Terrace up top and do the character dining or the character breakfast.
Which was very cool, and this character breakfast includes Mickey, Minnie, Donald, and Daisy. And they're in there, I guess you could say, painting. The guys
Mickey is
are
wearing
painting.
like a painter outfit.
Smock,
Minnie had on like this Parisian or Italian type of thing, like a European, let's say,
Yeah.
like dress. Daisy was dressed as the ballerina. I mean, it was just really cute. And so they play Italian music.
Yes.
And it's so good. And then, okay, fussy eaters, listen up. Listen up, because I got a trick for you.
Well, first, when you sit down, they bring you out. It looks like a paint bucket.
It's like a paint bucket
filled
of
with
pastries.
Pastries. And on the little pastry thing, there was Nutella, butter, and strawberry
some sort of preserves. You can't diet there. Carbs ahoy! It was so good. So their menu for you get the bucket of pastries, and then you get you order something hot, kind of like how it was at the other restaurant.
Yes.
But fancy. So they had. I was just over fancy by then, and our server was actually someone who followed the Main Street Mouse, which was really awesome. Hi, Melanie.
We were sitting there with the table with all the
Don't
media.
tell that story.
Okay.
Okay, don't tell that story.
It was just
but anyway, she made me feel very special. So I asked her, I said, so the sour cream waffles or cream cheese waffles or no
Sour cream waffles.
And it came with all kinds of foofy stuff on it. So I was like, I just would really like a plain waffle, and if you have strawberries, that'd be great. So we have strawberries up at the bar that they used to put on, drinks and things. So she brought me the waffles plain, the sour cream waffles are plain.
Actually, she asked her if she wanted Mickey waffles or regular waffles.
Yeah, no, I wanted the fancy waffles with just no stuff.
Right.
So she brought me the waffles. She brought me a side of strawberries, and then there was that little cup of Nutella sitting there. So I made my own strawberry Nutella waffles, and let me tell you, it was the best waffle I
keep in
think
mind,
I've
we
ever
didn't
had.
really eat the last 2 meals the day before.
Oh my gosh. So they do make exceptions for you. And so the waffle itself was delicious, but put that Nutella and the strawberry, oh my God, I would kill for one of those right now because we can't have them now. But it was so good.
Did you hear she said she would kill?
Okay, not kill.
For a Nutella strawberry waffle.
Oh my goodness, it was so good. So anyway, so if you are a fussy eater like myself, they do make accommodations.
And it was great. We did all our pictures with the characters.
Yeah.
We did after eating. We did go out on the terrace. Michelle and John did a little promo for TMSM LOL, which took place yesterday. Which was
yes, I know we're getting close. We're getting close to the end of our time.
Yes.
But let us just get this out too.
So we did wrap up our tour. We left the Riviera after 3 days of running all over and being tired, and we were exhausted. And we got home, and I don't think we moved really much Friday.
I was pretty tired. I was probably in a carb coma.
We're still kind of tired from it all.
I just lay there on the couch like, I ate in shame because I ate so horribly. Anyway, go ahead.
So we got home, we relaxed, but then Saturday morning came along. We had to get ready because we had TMSM LOL for our first show at Disney Springs, Maria and Enzo's, which took place yesterday. It was without a doubt fantastic. It went off great. We couldn't have asked for a better turnout. We couldn't have asked for a better day. The Michelle, John, and Cindy did a fantastic job hosting the show. The Disney Springs people, Kurt, who's our main contact there, he was so excited, so happy.
The restaurant was happy. The PR people were happy. Our attendees were happy. And we were happy because doing shows like that and seeing the feedback, and we stayed after the show, and everybody who came up to me for a picture or to say goodbye, I asked every last one of them, did you have a good time? Did you enjoy yourself? Because I want to know, because if there's something that we could have done better that we can, this is our first thing at Disney Springs.
And we plan to improve.
Yes. Always. So it was the most amazing thing, and I feel so blessed and humbled and grateful for the people at Disney Springs entrusting us to partner with them to do a monthly show. Every month we are going to be live at Disney Springs. And we announced yesterday, if you missed it, that February show is February 23rd at the NBA Experience.
Right, so there is still tickets. We've sold over half the tickets already. We only have room for 50 for this event because the room they're putting us in only will hold that. So if you want your tickets, go to tmsmlol.com and you can purchase your tickets there. There is the $5 charge, but with that $5 charge, you do get entry into the raffle to win the prize.
We gave away 5 prizes last night, so the $5 is definitely worth it because we will always give back to you for coming out to see us. And it's a fun time. I've had people already ask me details for the February show. We are actually going to do a walkthrough tomorrow morning at Disney Springs to get more information. So as soon as I get the details and what everything is going to be about for February 23rd, I promise you we will let you know because we're just as excited as you are, if not more. This is great.
Yeah, we came home last night and we were on a high from everything and just trying to, in our heads, regroup and do exactly what we just went through, and it was fantastic, and we couldn't ask for a better night. Everybody that turned out, thank you so much for coming and supporting it.
Thank you, guys. This means everything.
It really does.
Everything. I woke up this morning and I felt like my heart was going to burst because I was just so filled with gratitude. So thank you.
And how nervous she was before yesterday, and to see her once the show was done and we were home, and just you could tell that all that weight came off her shoulders, and she was relaxed, but she was happy, and it went off great. And yeah, of course, there's little things we're going to improve on as we go. There's things we're going to do to make it better. And that's what we have to do. That's what's going to make it better each month, is that we're going to take each show, we're going to learn from it, and we're going to make it better for the next show. So please come out to the NBA Experience if you can on February 23rd. Get your tickets before they're sold out.
And if you can't, have no fear, because we will be somewhere at Disney Springs every month this year. And I know people have already asked, like, because they want to, like, kind of like our meetups, they want to plan ahead of time. I'm going to talk to Disney Springs about that tomorrow and see if how we can go about getting the dates further so that we can, so that you guys can plan better. Let's just say that.
And we might be able to give the dates, but we're not going to share the venue with anybody until it gets a little bit closer, because we want to keep some surprise there to be able to announce as we move forward. But we were going to try to see if we can iron out dates for future ones, so that way you can put it on your calendar and just know it's coming, because tickets won't go on sale until the event ends.
Right, so stay tuned. We're doing, this is still new for us as well, so we're going to do our best to get you guys the information, but I can promise you that it will be a good show every month. And again, you guys that came out, for those who came early to help us, for those who stayed after, I mean, it makes my heart so happy. I just can't thank you enough.
No, it was so cool. We got there and there was a handful of people already there, and the way everybody just kicked in and just, okay, here, I'll do this. I'll help you guys with
the
this.
Main Street Mouse is a group effort. We're
really
not just a site. We're not just do news. We're actually, you guys are all our friends. You're our extended Disney family, and we always want you to feel welcome where we are. And I'm not gonna cry, but thank you. Just thank you.
Cry.
Thank you.
It's on the verge.
Yeah. So okay, you talk.
So, as she said, February 23rd, NBA experience. With admission to our event, you will get to be able to go to the NBA experience that day. You won't have to pay the $35, whatever they charge to go.
We're not supposed to announce that yet. We got to talk to them.
I thought that was good, because we said that last night.
Well, yeah, but I think so. But I'm gonna get all the details tomorrow.
But we're pretty sure that's what's gonna happen. That's what we said last night. So we're hoping that's still the case. But we're gonna iron out the food and what's gonna happen for that event. That's the one thing. A lot of people came up to Marie and Enzo's yesterday. They ordered food. They had drinks. They had fun. And it made the show that much more exciting.
And we love you for the support, whether you watched us from home, whether you were there, whether you watched this silly show every week, whether, you were on our tour with us last week watching from, all these things. We could not do any of this without you. And from the bottom of my heart, I thank you, because without you guys, the Main Street Mouse would not exist.
That's true.
And that is something that I always remind myself when people thank us for what we do. I always turn it around and say, no, thank you.
No, we do it because you guys support it. If nobody supported it, we'd have no reason to do what we do.
So thank you.
So thank you for everything you do. We love doing it. We love covering it. We love getting the emails. There was a lady yesterday, her and her husband from Chicago, and she was so excited.
Yes.
She supported us from Chicago. We've never met her. And she was just so excited to be there and to meet us. And she told me, and I took a step back, she told me that Michelle and I are like celebrities to her.
And
then she made the joke that in 50 years of marriage, her husband never saw her that excited. And it put it into perspective for me. And it's like, because we don't view ourselves like that whatsoever.
God, no.
Whatsoever. Not at all.
It's just us.
It's just us. But she was just so happy to have met us, so happy to be at the show and talking to us. And we love that feeling, because it's just that we could bring so much happiness to somebody.
And you guys bring us happiness
and you
in
guys
return.
bring it back.
Enough mushy-gushy stuff. We are going to have a great year at the Springs, and then we'll have more about our fall meetup coming soon, hopefully, too. So just stay tuned. As soon as we know more, we will let you know.
And we're also working around something for the summer. Possibly.
Did you know that
the Main Street Mouse is
10 this year? Don't you think we deserve maybe something a little extra? 10-year anniversary is a big one, so stay tuned about that, too.
I think a party with a D... Sorry, I'll stop.
Do not say it. So, yes, more to come.
We're good to go?
I believe so.
Okay. I don't know if we should run through all our stuff this week.
Yeah, we don't have to. We're way over. But
yeah,
do you guys want a prize? Do you want a prize?
You want to win something?
You want to win something?
Let's
because we love to give you presents. How about that?
Let's tell them how they can win something.
Ooh. How about a pair of mouse ears? There you go.
Which ones were those called?
These
I can't remember
were the... Oh gosh, they're iridescent. Something.
Iridescent, that's what they were.
Ooh, would you like a pair of these? Because I love them.
I think Shane probably wants a pair.
Shane wants a pair? And these lovely ears will match any outfit you have, because they shine and they're so beautiful. I think this was the Magic Mirror Metallic.
That's what it was.
Anyway, there's so many trendy colors.
There's a new color every couple weeks.
So let's see. We got to come up with a hashtag to win the ears this time.
Let's get TMSM LOL trending.
Let's do that.
Hashtag TMSM LOL.
Yes.
What's the city and state you're watching from?
Yes. Tell us where you're watching from. Hashtag TMSM LOL. And then next week we will announce a winner of these lovely ears.
Love leaders.
Good luck to you all.
So, again, I'm not going to run through everything.
You know where to find us.
Yep, we're just going to say, please make sure to follow us on social media, The Main Street Mouse, at The Main Street Mouse, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Also, you can find us on Twitter at Main Street Mouse. Follow Michelle at... Michelle,
But you were running through the whole thing.
I'm not going to show the screens.
Oh.
Michelle M. Atwood and TMSM Avenger. You can follow us on Instagram. Well, something just fell.
What did you do?
I think the little fragrance thing fell. I'll get it in a minute. Also, make sure MEI-Travel, our official sponsor, make sure if you need any travel assistance, please contact them. There's a
link on our site.
You can click there and they'll help you out with anything. But I think we're going to cut it off for this week, guys. Thank you so much for watching while we did the WW Food and Resort Tour.
Yes.
Thank you for attending and watching TMSM LOL.
Yes.
If you haven't seen it, it is on our YouTube. It's on our Facebook page.
Yes, go back and watch. It was a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun, and they're only going to get better. So keep watching, and we'll see where it goes from here.
Yes, so thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for all that you do for us, and we hope you have a great week, and we will see you next Monday.
Yes, see you guys. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.